some of the other, the members of the Exchange Club that stand out?
Geez, when I first joined, Jim Thompson was Thompson Plumbing, but I think he was also the fire chief. But it was him, the Ray Landry from Landry Insurance, Dennis Chiricello. We used to have where China Star was PS Office Supply, and Dennis, who owned that, was in the club. Russ St. Jean from Arlington Trust, Charles Breen from Breen's Funeral Home in Lawrence. See, we're an offshoot of the Lawrence Club.
Uh-huh.
So Lawrence Club is 75 years old, and we're now 56 years old, and the Lawrence Club started a club in Salem.
Right.
So that's why there were a few people from Massachusetts, and but here we are,
Yeah.
all those years later.
And of course, Tom Morrow would be another one.
Oh, jeepers. Tom Morrow from Canopy is the operations manager. John Sullivan, my God, he was a charter member. John Sullivan from Sullivan Fuel, and his wife Helen, she was such a dear. And boy, Al Ralph, but there's just so many. It's been, in 50 years, a lot of people.
Right.
I'm the constant.
Well, bringing up these names, you must have come up with some outstanding moments or things that you really stick out in your mind.
Well, the Boys Club started doing golf tournaments around here, and we kind of chiseled into their thing, and we started doing golf tournaments, and then we started doing casino nights, and we did big casino nights with 500 people showing up, and we'd drive up to Manchester and get the equipment and rent it, set up St. Joseph's Hall, and but one year we got bagged by some scammer operators.
Really?
We actually lost $5,000,
Oh,
and this is like 1982 or something.
Yeah.
And John Sullivan and my wife and I paid the winners out of our wallets and checkbooks, and then we had to go to Indiana Bank. Cam Stewart was
Yeah.
a member of the club, and we did a 90-day note to pay off, to get this.
That must have been
That was
quite a deal.
That was a heck of an evening, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right.
The Debbie Voter Center, which was a Salem Association for Retarded Citizens facility, the first building was on Centerville Drive across from Woodbury. It was funny, my predecessor was Udo Fritsch, and as president of the club. So Udo donated a fully outfitted ramp, handicap van, whatever the word is today. And so he donated the van to them and then passed the gavel to me, and I was president and I got to pay for it. That's why we were running casino nights, was to pay for the van, which, by the way, came from Newman Ford. And so I guess it was early to mid-'80s. And is $8,500 for a fully loaded handicap van.
Wow.
I know, and that was big money.
Yeah,
That was a lot of money back then.
still.
Yeah, for us.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, we did our Christmas tree sale back then. We've done Christmas trees for 54 years.
That was another thing.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
yeah. Started at the Sullivan Fuel. Then we were down between Chili's and the dance hall, Crystal
Yeah,
Dance
yes,
Hall,
right.
next door. We were in a slot right in between there, because that member was Eddie Seraldi, and he owned Al's Save More gasoline station, and he owned Pizza Land. So Pizza Land was where Chili's is, kind of, and we were in there. One year, I dressed up as Santa Claus and was out on 28 waving to people, and they pulling in to buy trees. And one guy stopped to wave, have the kids wave to Santa,
Right.
and he got rear-ended.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Nobody was hurt, but
gee.
another memorable moment.
Yeah.
Of whoops.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Geez, so many things. Boy, we pretty much single-handedly got Big Brothers Big Sisters off the ground here in Salem. And they ended up in one room at the courthouse, but we funded them for several years. And, that's another proud moment, was getting that going. We've had a couple of our members, Andy Marion, Bonnie Breen, had become over the years president of the New England District of Exchange Clubs. And I'm currently a Division 5 director for the National Exchange Club, District Exchange Club. I was actually doing the New England District newsletter and won the national award for best newsletter back in like '94. Another big thing in the Exchange Club is a display of plaques, historic plaques of all the important documents in our history. It's called a Freedom Shrine. And there's one in the town office down near the town clerk. There's Boys and Girls Club, several schools, number of other places. And with all the school remodeling, we need to replace a couple of them.
Right.
But there's one at the library. Anyway, one of our members, Larry Vandeventer, had the idea of freedomshrine.com, and we built and host a website called freedomshrine.com, which is used across the country by colleges and students and schools, and so that's been a big thing for us. It's award-winning kind of thing, Dollars for Scholars, we've done so much with Dollars for Scholars over the years. We used to administer our own scholarships. We have 3 scholarships: John and Helen Sullivan Memorial, Thomas O. Morrow Memorial, and Charles M. Breen. Well, we used to administer them ourselves, and really, you don't want to try and administer scholarships.
Okay, right.
And in 1992, I think it was, we made the biggest donation, $2 for scholars, that they had ever had at the time, which represented all of our fund for the scholarships. And since then, 30 years, we've had Dollars for Scholars administer our scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
So high school seniors, if you live in Salem, make sure you apply for Dollars for Scholars scholarships. We had the car show, the racetrack. Oh, Ed Callahan, they were such good friends of the Exchange Club. Ed let us run this fabulous car show at the racetrack. It was crazy. Didn't charge us a cent.
Oh, wow.
Provided all facilities. It was amazing. And then we got included in the charitable gaming.
Right.
So luckily,
That was another thing,
since
right.
2007,
Right.
we've been blessed. I mean, there's no other word than being blessed to be part of the New Hampshire Charitable Gaming in Salem, which after the racetrack closed, it moved over to Chasers, which is at Grand China Restaurant.
Right.
And now Churchill Downs has gotten involved and bought it, and who knows where that's gonna go, we don't know, but they're talking about moving into Kmart. So 10 years from now, if they're already in Kmart and they've moved us out, we'll look back at this video and
That's
say,
right.
wow, remember the day?
Exactly.
Yeah.